everyone, welcome back on this inner hike with the plant spirits. In this episode, the plant consciousness of Violet will be joining us, and more specifically wild pansy, or the Latin name Viola tricolor. So the tricolored violet with purple, yellow and white. But there are many different varieties of these colors, but it is the spirit of this plant that is here with us in this episode, and they wanted to bring this message to you in this moment. The topic of today is about harmonizing emotions, balancing emotions, especially in processes of change. Change is, as the plants have shared in these episodes, a constant anyway, but it's very tangibly in our time now because big changes are happening very fast. The way Violet brought it was that the face of our time is not one of status quo, but one of great change. And so change can stir up a lot of emotions in us, and it can feel at times as if we are being run by our emotions instead of steering our lives from a balanced, centered space. And so they want to provide us with insights and a story as to how they work with harmonizing and balancing these energies. And they're showing it to me like how to sit in the center of a storm where it's always quiet. How to find a point of stillness and overview of grounded balance within the change, so the storm that's moving around it. So let's dive into the message and then see if there's anything that wants to be added from there. If you're listening to this episode on YouTube, you will see pictures of Violet as well. And maybe you can picture this tricolored violet by heart. And this helps also to feel into their energy. So notice how their quality speaks to you. This is Violet on how to navigate emotions in a process of change. Hello to all. You are all in a process of change. So this question is an important one, as great change will be the constant of this time. Change means incoming new and outgoing known. And the characteristics of these times are such that the incoming new might be really new, out of the known periphery. You might have to widen your awareness and open yourself up to ways of being, to possibilities of living that are not in your awakened consciousness yet. Because this new you might not have experienced yet. The call or need for change is big. A lot of structures create a lot of pressure because they don't fit the needs of the majority of beings on Earth. Many ways of how things are organized in a physical way and also in a mental way, emotional way and spiritual way are not sustainable. A call for big change will be answered with big answers, with solutions, breakthroughs, openings that meet the needs that are here. And so the answers for your personal call for change can come from just outside of your periphery, because this can be out of your awareness. It also might mean that it is out of your comfort zone. Many of you are experiencing personal changes that are way out of your comfort zone. Or maybe you experience a point before that movement where you feel the tightness of structures, of the old ways of being that creates suffering in your moments. With structures, violet means ways how things are organized. So this can mean how your planning looks in your day, but also the ways in which you deal with emotions, the structures through which the emotions are, quote unquote, are allowed to run. Also, what your belief structures look like. So, for example, self-limiting beliefs can feel as a tight structure through which you're living. So this is what they mean when they speak of structures. When structures start to crumble, or you decide to leave existing ones, it can feel like leaving your house, or leaving part of it, being homeless. You can feel lost and disorientated, as the previous structure gave you reference points in your days or behavioral ways to cope with life situations. It can feel like your songline loses its rhythm and its melody. I want to share with you a perspective that can help you feel at home and more at ease in this process of change. Firstly, you have to know that there's always a songline with rhythm and melody. You're never without. The world is never without. You can discern two major songlines in your human experience. One is about belonging, feeling at home. The other is about becoming, evolving in life. Now these two can sound wonderful together. This is my greatest joy, to hear them meet, dance, and invite each other to bigger expansion. It's my quality to help harmonize dissonance between these songlines when they've shifted out of tune. You can notice when this happens, when struggle and suffering appears in your life. Either the call of becoming isn't answered enough because your life remains too much status quo, when there is a call for change, for something new, for evolvement, or the call of belonging isn't met enough because changes happen too fast for you to digest whatever is stirred up with the change. Let's look at what is stirred up in these changing situations. Yes, indeed, emotions can come up. Now, it's important for you to discern two types of emotions. The ones that come up to prevent you from feeling, and the emotions or feelings that want to be felt so that their charge can be released, so the needed change can occur. With different degrees and for different purposes, most hold undigested emotions, a certain charge of energy that was too intense to experience and process in one go. They happened somewhere in the past and got stored. And when you find yourself in a time when there is space to process these past charges, they will come up. And also, without a change, these charges can be triggered, can be activated. Then mostly this first layer of emotions will be activated. They act like dogs at a gate barking. Don't come here, don't move, don't stir up this place. So these are the emotions that try to prevent the feeling as a defense reaction. You want to find a way to be able to observe this and not be identified with it. This often results in projecting things outward, like something outside is doing something to you. When you experience yourself criticizing, judging, being triggered, annoyed, irritated, outraged by something outside of you, then you've got a very helpful signpost. You're in contact with this guardian dog, this first layer of emotions, that there's something beyond this gate that's calling for your presence, that wants to be felt. A lot of the outer world stage events is triggering and activating really old and deep held emotional charges in your systems at the moment, whether you're conscious of this or not. In a holistic view, this is actually helpful and needed to release the undigested charge of your collective of the past and to make space for new to come in. This may not feel like a clean process. It can feel very chaotic, but I can assure you this is a very cleansing one. Now Violet is showing me their purple, the energy of their color purple. It's the bigger voice singing the song of a more expanded version, an update, a way of being that is accessible for you. Life intelligence never lets something crumble if there isn't a new way available. If you feel big shifting or big crumbling happening, you can see this as a result of something new that wants to push itself to the surface. It's already the strengthening and initiation of the new coming in. That might help you to shift your focus not to what's crumbling, but actually to listen to this new song that's coming in. So now they show me their yellow, the energy of their color yellow. When anxieties rise, you can see this as a sign that something wants to be released, presenced and felt, because there's a creation process happening of making space. What if you would frame it that way? If you could know it to be this way, wouldn't it be easier for your personality to relax, to allow the dogs to quiet, the gate to open, and the intensities to pass through you? This is a natural process. It's not something you have to make happen. Only to experience yourself in your center through this, it's helpful to understand what is happening inside of you when you go through the motions. So they show me this going through the motions of change as a lot of noise, a lot of different sounds. Like with change, you can hear a lot of different song lines all at once, together creating this soundscape that can feel very chaotic. So now they're showing me their white color. You can call me in at such time, so when you're experiencing chaos of all sorts. And let's listen together where you hear your songline of becoming here. What is calling for change, for an update? And what is the songline of belonging? Where do you feel unsafe? What fears pop up? What emotions are guarding more vulnerable places? make this a practice to discern what's calling for a change, what new experience or quality is my heart longing for, and what in this moment is being stirred up in me that I need to bring home in order to feel safe and I can relax. And as you get a sense of these two song lines, what song line needs my care and presencing at this time? Do I need to take some actions in the direction I want? Or do I need to take it easy and make sure I can process whatever charge is being activated in my system now? And so you practice over and over and over to discern these two parts, these two motions in you, becoming and belonging. And with that, you rest in this third place, this neutral place that can observe and discern what is going on. So this is the white place, the white energy in this flower. You become more and more aware, familiar with this third place that you're actually resting in. The place from where you can steer through any changes, because this place in you knows itself. It knows itself to be home. It's beyond becoming and belonging. This place is the silence in the storm. And they're showing me their white color in the center of their flower. And then there's the purple color being the upper color, their flower being the color of becoming. And the yellow being the color closer to earth as the color of belonging. This movement of belonging, and they dance together and go through the motions of finding balance, but they're actually spinning around this center, this third place that is home. Viola tricolor, it's really a detox for the skin, and they're actually not specifically showing me the skin, but like the skin, if it's cleansed, you can feel clearer. You can hear clearer, you can see clearer in your life, in your days, when this movement of becoming wants to take a step and this song line of belonging needs listening to. Yes, and they end by showing this beautiful image of these two motions of becoming and belonging, dancing and responding to each other and being each other supportive, backing music, and that actually they're singing together in a synchronized songline that's emanating from this heart. See how that image speaks to you. And certainly let me know if it sparks questions or insights. I was camping this weekend and a friend of mine pointed out that we actually passed wild pansies. So I could have just walked past it. But as I kneeled down to look at them, that movement of going close to the ground where they grow feels like coming back to simpleness. Make life very simple, because in that place where life becomes simple again, where you have a sense you can meet whatever is on your plate, that's also where you can find this middle place, this white place. So go closer to the ground, whatever that means for you. It reminded me to take things back to a scale where I can actually meet it. So I thank Violet Wild Pansy for bringing forth this message for us. And I also want to wish you a lovely 1st of May for those of you that celebrate the celebration of Beltane, welcoming of summer, of new life being created, being born, life being fertile and sprouting out. So have a beautiful celebration close to the ground where you can hear all life dancing with each other. After this weekend, the Nettle journey starts on the Waking Up with Plants journey on Patreon. So if you feel like you want to detox on whatever level, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, this can be very helpful plant sessions for you. I will leave the information for that in the description of this episode. I want to thank you for listening and being here in this space. Until the next episode, and bye for now.